is Caitlin Clark, and y'all have been in such denial, and it's nasty work that y'all keep lying and trying to make it seem like it's everybody else. Our point has been proven. The point was proven a long time ago. The numbers jumped when she got here. Not because of Angel Reese, not because of Paige Beckett, not because of nobody else, but Caitlin Clark. The damn ratings dropped by more than 50% last season when the girl was hurt. Now you're mad. You're mad that because when they announced that she was hurt, nobody wanted to go to the games no more. Thousands of people decided they're not going. So what? They don't have to go. They don't have to go if they don't want to. You're still in denial, but the good.
The ratings plummeted by 50% the second she stepped off the court. It wasn't just a slump, it was a total abandonment of the league by the fans. The WNBA old guard stood there in absolute denial, watching the numbers crater while they tried to tell us that everyone else was just as interesting. It was the moment the mask slipped, revealing a level of jealousy so deep it threatened to burn the entire house down. They wanted to prove they didn't need her, but the empty seats and silent broadcast booths told a much darker story about the state of the game today.
Because if your favorite player's not playing, you still should want to go. Who the hell are you to tell me what I need to go spend my damn money on? If I want to go watch Steph Curry play and I find out he's not playing, I don't have to still go to the damn Warriors game if I don't want to. It's okay. If I want to go to Taco Bell for a beefy 5-layer burrito with no beans and they put out an announcement saying they only selling quesadillas, damn it, I don't got to go spend my money on no quesadillas because that ain't what I want. Who are you to tell people what they need to go spend their money on? Take a listen to this, man.
We're circulating the same players over and over again that we're talking about, the same 10. AZ Fudd.
Angel McCaffrey took to her podcast and basically told the fans they were wrong for having a favorite player. She tried to argue that, even if your star isn't playing, you should still show up and spend your hard-earned money. It was an elite-level guilt trip that backfired immediately. Imagine telling someone who paid for a steak dinner that they should be happy with a side of cold fries just because the chef is tired. That is exactly what the league is trying to pull right now, and the fans are absolutely not having it. This isn't just a difference of opinion, it is a full-blown war on the consumer.
With no beans and they put out an announcement saying they only selling quesadillas, damn it, I don't gotta go spend my money on no quesadillas because that ain't what I want. Who are you to tell people what they need to go spend their money on? Take a listen to this, man.
We're circulating the same players over and over again that we're talking about, the same 10. AZ Fudd, Caitlin Clark. What about Enrique? What about Kelsey Mitchell? We don't talk about these players enough. I saw that when Caitlin got hurt, nobody wanted to go to the game anymore. It was like, oh, Caitlin's not playing. I'm not interested in watching.
So what? So what? Yep, I don't want to go no more. And so?
But you have all these other players on Indiana that are interesting.
This isn't just about basketball anymore. It is about the visible resentment from the players who came before. They have spent years building this league in the shadows, and now that a supernova has arrived, they cannot handle the spotlight she brings. Instead of riding the wave, they are trying to drown it. We are seeing legendary players risk their own reputations just to take a swipe at a rookie who has done nothing but bring them more money and more eyes. It is the definition of nasty work, and it is being exposed in real time for the whole world to see.
When it comes to what's legendary, well, we just gotta let fans decide. That is a Loaded Lux quote. You can't tell the people what they should be watching. The people decide what's interesting and what's not. And the people decided that they were not interested in watching the Indiana Fever if Caitlin Clark wasn't playing. You are not the determining factor for what the large group of people want to see, Angel McCaffrey.
Rotate in the media and the brands. We're not playing. Will anybody come watch the WNBA?
No. I like some people like, oh my God, bro.
Stephanie White is caught right in the middle of this firestorm, and she is reportedly fuming at the way her star is being treated. As a coach, you want to protect your assets, but how do you protect someone from an entire league worth of bitterness? The pressure on the Indiana Fever organization is reaching a boiling point. They are seeing their ticket sales fluctuate wildly based on one person's health, and the internal frustration is starting to leak out. White knows that, without Clark, the Fever is just a cold room with 6,000 empty seats.
the Indiana Fever while Caitlin Clark is on the team. If you take Caitlin Clark off this team, they'll be back playing in front of 6,000 people. Book it. Book it. The ticket sales are... They've already dropped 4,000 tickets per game with Caitlin Clark because people don't trust the organization. They feel like they were robbed and all types of stuff. If she's off this team, they'll be playing in front of 6,000 people. Book it. Y'all see, y'all think everybody's Fever fit. No. People are rooting for the Fever because they love Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted and think people gonna be out here Indiana fevered out.
Let us look at the cold, hard data because numbers do not have an agenda. When Caitlin Clark was sidelined, the ratings did not just dip, they fell off a cliff. We are talking about a 50% drop in viewership. That is catastrophic for any business, let alone a league trying to prove its own viability. The fans sent a loud and clear message: we are here for the excellence of one specific player, not the participation trophies of the rest. This reality check has sent the WNBA hierarchy into a tailspin of denial and redirection.
Everything is up. It's definitely not only because of Caitlin Clark.
Yo, get the God. Yo, these people are delusional. These people are delusional. They are haters. It's disgusting.
Like, there's so much more going on in the W. Women's basketball, in my opinion, is much bigger than any one or two players. While I do think that they've been important to, like, light the fire, and they're a huge part of continuing the success, I think women's basketball stands on its own.
I think you are fucking delusional. That's what I think. I think you have lost your...
Think about it like this. If you go to a Golden State Warriors game to see Steph Curry and find out he is resting, you are going to be frustrated. You might even try to get your money back. Nobody calls you a fake fan for wanting to see the greatest shooter of all time. But in the WNBA, the old guard wants to shame you for that exact same behavior. They want to dictate how you spend your cash and who you should find interesting. It is a level of entitlement that you simply do not see in other professional sports leagues around the world.
I think women's basketball stands on its own.
I think you are fucking delusional. That's what I think. I think you have lost your damn mind. That is what I think. That is what I think. Let's take a listen to what Clay Travis had to say about the WNBA's hate for Caitlin Clark.
In every sport that is trying to maximize their audience, they feature the stars as often as they can. So what's going on in the WNBA? This graphic went out to promote the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever's best player is Caitlin Clark. She is by far the most watched WNBA star. I don't even know who the woman is.
And there is this weird narrative that the media only rotates the same 10 players and that is why Caitlin is famous, but that is a total lie. The media follows the money and the engagement. If other players were drawing these kinds of numbers, they would be on every billboard from New York to LA. The jealousy comes from the fact that they cannot manufacture this kind of organic stardom. They have tried to push other faces of the league for years, but the public has made its choice.
To acknowledge that Caitlin Clark is the star who has lifted a rising tide that has lifted all boats in the WNBA. The only thing I can possibly come to is they don't want to promote a white player who also happens to be heterosexual. That's lunacy. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what sexuality you are. I don't care about anything, and most sports fans agree with me.
That's how I am. I don't care about your race. I don't care about who you sleep with. I don't care about none of that. Are you good? Are you entertaining? I'm down. Like, I don't care about all that other stuff. Your religious views, none of my business. Your sexuality, none of my business.
Look at the ticket sales. If you want to see the real damage, reports indicate that thousands of people decided not to show up the moment they realized the star attraction was out. We are talking about a 3,000 ticket drop per game. That is money straight out of the pockets of the organization and the league. Yet, instead of being grateful for the boost she provides, the surrounding players are acting like she is an inconvenience. It is business suicide, and Stephanie White is reportedly losing her mind over the lack of support. Even voices like Clay Travis are weighing in, pointing out the absolute lunacy of the league marketing strategy. He highlighted a promotional graphic for the Indiana Fever that did not even feature their best player. Instead, they used an off-the-bench player who averages barely any stats. Why would a league refuse to promote its biggest draw? It defies all logic of sports marketing and business growth. It feels like they are intentionally trying to suppress her success to protect the egos of the veterans who feel overlooked. There is a growing sentiment that identity politics are being prioritized over pure excellence. In any other sport, the most talented and most watched player is the undisputed face of the brand. In the WNBA, it feels like there is a checklist you have to hit before they will truly embrace you. If you do not fit the preferred narrative of the old guard, they will do everything in their power to minimize your impact. It is a dangerous game to play when your league's financial future is finally looking bright for the first time in decades. One of the most insulting things said was the comparison to the WWE, implying that if the star is not there, there is no reason to watch the show. But isn't that the point of professional entertainment? People pay for the main event. They do not pay for the dark matches and the warm-ups. The WNBA needs to realize they are in the entertainment business, not a charity. If the fans do not want to watch the supporting cast, that is a critique of the product, not a moral failing of the audience. The Indiana Fever as an organization is under a microscope like never before. Fans are starting to lose trust in the front office because they feel like the team is not doing enough to protect their star from the constant slander. There is a sense that the organization is being robbed of its potential by a league that is hostile toward its own success. Stephanie White is dealing with a locker room and a fan base that are both on edge, and the tension is becoming unbearable for everyone involved. Calling the denial nasty work is an understatement. It is a concerted effort to gaslight the fans into believing that the boom is a collective effort. While other players certainly have their fans, they are not moving the needle like Clark. To pretend otherwise is to lie to the face of the public. This refusal to give credit where it is due is what is fueling the hater narrative that is currently surrounding the veteran players. It is a messy situation that is only getting worse as the season progresses. Let us be real. If Caitlin Clark got traded to the New York Liberty or the LA Sparks tomorrow, the Indiana Fever would go back to playing in front of 6,000 people overnight. The Fever fans are not loyal to the jersey, they are loyal to the talent. The league tries to pretend they have converted these people into lifelong WNBA enthusiasts, but the data says they are Clark enthusiasts. If she is not on the court, the remote is going off. That is a terrifying reality for the league's long-term stability. The old guard needs to understand that their time in the sun is over, and their legacy depends on how they treat the next generation. By slandering the very person who is making their league relevant, they are poisoning the well. It is a level of toxicity that is rarely seen in professional sports. Usually the legends want to pass the torch, but here they seem to be trying to use the torch to set the whole track on fire. It is a pathetic display of insecurity that is being called out by everyone. In business, the customer is always right. If the customers say they only want to watch one person, you give them as much of that person as possible. You do not tell them they have bad taste. You do not tell them they are hating on the other players, you adjust your business model to maximize the revenue from that interest. The WNBA is doing the exact opposite, and it is why they are facing such a massive backlash from the new wave of fans who are just here for the high-level basketball. At the end of the day, all that should matter is excellence. Are you good? Are you entertaining? Do you make the game better? Caitlin Clark hits all those marks with a sledgehammer. Her background should not matter, but the league is making it matter by trying to balance the scales. They are so afraid of her being too big that they are willing to let the league stay too small. It is a self-sabotaging mindset that Stephanie White is reportedly fighting against every single day behind the scenes. How can a team function when the league around them is rooting for their star to fail? The Indiana Fever players are in a tough spot. They are talented athletes who deserve recognition, but they are playing in the shadow of a giant. When veterans from other teams come out and slander their teammate, it creates an us-against-the-world mentality that is exhausting to maintain. This isn't just about one game, it is about a season-long assault on the reputation of a young woman who just wants to hoop. The media is not helping either. By giving a platform to the haters and the jealous veterans, they are amplifying the negativity. Instead of celebrating the record-breaking attendance and the massive TV deals, the conversation is constantly dragged back down into the mud of who deserves the credit. It is a circular argument that leads nowhere and only serves to alienate the very fans the league worked so hard to attract. The focus needs to shift back to the court, but the jealousy will not allow it. If the WNBA does not get its act together, this boom will be a burst before we know it. Fans have a short memory and even shorter patience. If they feel like their favorite player is being mistreated, or if the league feels too toxic to support, they will simply take their attention elsewhere. There are plenty of other sports and entertainment options out there. The league is currently holding a winning lottery ticket and is considering tearing it up because they do not like the font it is printed on. While Stephanie White has not made a massive public spectacle yet, her silence speaks volumes. Behind the scenes, the reports of her fuming are becoming more frequent. She sees the work her player puts in and the vitriol she receives in return. As a leader, it is infuriating to see your star being used as a punching bag for the league's insecurities. The breaking point is coming, and when it hits, the fallout is going to be massive for the entire Indiana organization and the WNBA. The truth is finally out in the open, and it cannot be stuffed back in the bottle. The jealousy is real. The slander is documented, and the fans are fully aware of what is going on. The WNBA can no longer hide behind the "growing the game" excuse when they are actively trying to stunt the growth of their biggest star. The battle lines have been drawn, and the old guard is finding themselves on the wrong side of history. It is time to stop the lies and start embracing the reality.